Hi, everybody. Welcome back and happy Labor Day. Guys, I hope you had the best, most beautiful weekend. By the way, I know that Labor Day is like one of those days where it's like a drinking day. People go out and they party. They have white parties. I hope everybody stayed safe. And then today it was funny. I had a few friends invite us over to the pool and do a couple things, but Jason and I are about to go out of town. And I was like, I have to work. And then luckily, I have somebody else who looks at Labor Day like she has to work. So we have Ashley from Taste of Reality. We have lots to talk about, lots to discuss. So before we jump in, put in the live chat where you're watching from. Also, I saw, Pam, where you threw out there that I'm always 4 minutes late, girl. I'm trying. I'm a work in progress. Smash the like button, show some love, and let's welcome Ashley. Hello. I'm going to close my door while you say hi.
Where is he going? Hi, I feel.
Oh, sorry. I was just closing my door.
Okay, I decided to do a time step because
oh, yeah.
I'm a theater kid, and when all else fails, you just do a time step.
Oh my God! I didn't know.
I was tap dancing in my chair.
Oh, okay. You know, it's so funny because when my music comes on, especially for a salty podcast now, because it's new music and I'm not used to it, I'm just like getting into it, and Jason's like, "Can you stop?"
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how.
Okay, but the fact that it sounds so much like Snoop Dogg's "Drop It Like It's Hot," iconic, amazing. First time I heard it, I was like, "Is this Snoop Doggy Dogg inspired?" Yes, it is, and I live.
You know, it's so funny because Jason's the one who picks the music and he's the one who like puts everything together at the end for the podcast and all of that, which by the way, guys, I do have to say a huge thank you for the Salty podcast. This past week, we were supposed to do 3 episodes. Monica was extremely sick. She was at home with her daughter and not feeling well. I completely understand. And she was even going to muscle through and do it on Saturday. And I was like, no, girl, you sound not good. You feel not good, and nobody wants to record when they feel like that. So, but we managed the entire week to live in the top 15, top 20 to the top 40. So I was like, guys, thank you. What a way to kick off the podcast.
Amazing. A round of applause.
Oh,
it's a really good show. I'm really enjoying it. And I'm very concerned for myself when I do eventually visit you that I will be the passenger in your car. So the exception of that, like, I love learning more about you. So this is awesome.
Well, listen, there's also a second car. So if you ever just want to drive yourself, Jason has his own car. You're more than welcome. I don't encourage anybody to get behind the wheel with me ever. So I do try to argue sometimes I'm not a bad driver, but I really am. Guys, I've driven my car off the side of a mountain 3 times. Like, I am a bad driver. I'm a bad driver.
Tom Girardi.
No, because I'm not trying to hide from anything. I'm just a bad driver. There's no like, oh, well, life's going to shit. Here, let's go off the side of the mountain. No, it's just like, life is really good. Oh my God, I didn't realize that there was a hill there.
So you're like that meme, the highway meme, where it's like where I should be going, but where my life is going. That's you personified.
Wow.
I worry for you.
Yeah. Thanks. Do you have any fun Labor Day plans before we get into the Bravo of it all?
Well, I have to say, since the Dancing with the Stars cast list has started getting dropped, I didn't watch Inventing Anna on Netflix when it came out. So being that Anna Delvey / Sorkin will be on Dancing with the Stars, that was my face. I'm pointing the wrong direction. I know. So I'm watching Inventing Anna, and I will probably, it's still very hot here in Vegas. I will probably stay home and maybe go on a nice little date or something with my husband and my dogs, maybe go get some ice cream or something later, but nothing big. How about you?
No, Jason and I are going down. My family was supposed to come in town, and my dad and my stepmom unfortunately can't make it. So we're going down to Hilton Head anyways, because we have a place that we Airbnb out, but we already like put out the time for it. So I was like, this is going to be really fun. My mother-in-law's in town. I think my mom's about to come in town and spend time with my mother-in-law. So It's just like it's like a big family affair. Yeah, the way you say heart when the moms get together, it's trouble. It is trouble. I've never met a duo like they are like legit Grace and Frankie.
Oh my God, I love them so
Oh
much.
God. Yeah, you haven't
Like
seen it.
you're Grace, I'm Frankie. Hi world. Here we are. We're like the prequel.
The prequel. Ay, ay, ay. But speaking of podcast, guys, I think Ashley wanted to touch on something that was actually incredibly disturbing. You guys know sometimes I come on here and I'll talk about Tamra and Teddy and Two Teas in a Pod. I'm a huge fan of Tamra's, and I actually really, really enjoy Teddy on the podcast. I do always kind of add in that I think that Tamra is the sort of the like if you throw out a fishing rod, like the little bobber thing that keeps it afloat. I do think that. However, at the end of the day, I think she absolutely kills it on the podcast. Not the biggest fan of her on reality TV, but that's only because it takes a special personality for somebody to be on reality TV, and we're not going to like all of them. That is okay. I'm entitled to that opinion. But also, I know when something is right and something is wrong. And Ashley pointed this out. I'm going to let her take this away while I bring it up because I thought it was absolutely insanity. Hold on. Where is it?
So as Adam's pulling this up, just like content warning, like somebody wished something that she would harm herself. So like, or something bad would happen. So if you don't want to listen to this conversation for the next minute, like go away for a second. You guys, this is too much. Teddi Mellencamp is a human being. She is a personality on a TV show. She is a podcaster. She is a wife, a mother, a daughter, a human being. Under no circumstances can this person or anybody else going around saying these things, like, we can't do it. As somebody who teases Teddi all the time, I want to say right now, this cycle of that being snarky and shady is one thing, but that is vile, disgusting, abhorrent, and it cannot happen under any circumstances. Take that crap out of the Bravo community and wherever else. Thank you very much.
No, so they said, I hope she D13S, which obviously you guys know that was their way of saying dies. Teddi Mellencamp came out and said, you guys are out of control. This isn't funny or cute. And you can hide behind whatever profile photo you want. But I hope when you look in the mirror, you do some serious self-reflection because I am the least of your problems. I 100% agree with this, with what you're saying. I think that at some point, it's like, chill the out. Guys, this is TV. This is even sometimes when I started doing the podcast with Monica and we were talking about the reality Von Teese of it all and like there being like 8 other people and like the girls really getting her pushed out, but also knowing that a lot of the other housewives have done incredibly awful things. I'm like, at the end of the day, this is just a show. It's not that big of a deal. And I want to apply this to what the whole Teddi concept too. It's like, it is just a show. It is meant for you guys to grab a glass of wine, grab a CBD drink. I don't know, maybe even a soda water where Ashley thinks it's milk. Not quite sure, but just grab whatever you grab, watch the show and check out of life and just enjoy. It's not meant for you to want to completely wish ill on somebody who is a mother, a daughter, a wife. That's disgusting. I'm not co-signing it. I think it makes me honestly just like, and I'm not a Teddi fan, but I just want to be like, I'm sorry, people suck. Like,
yeah, virtual hugs to Teddi, her lovely family. She might not be my favorite personality on TV, but she seems like a really nice person. I don't know if I can say that all the time, but it doesn't matter. These are people on our TV. Spoiler alert, I don't know Teddi Mellencamp. I have no idea who she is as a person. She doesn't know me from any Tom, Dick, or Harry. I know I can be delusional, but I'm not that delulu. Like,
or Harry, Dick, Tom.
Exactly. So yeah, enough. Taylor Armstrong, enough.
No, it is true, though. I think that sometimes this gets taken way too far, but also I think that there are a lot of personalities out there, and I've seen it with social media personalities, YouTube podcasters, where they incite a lot of aggressive online behavior and sort of violent behavior, and they like the altercations. And it's like, who am I fighting with today? Let's get into a fight. Oh my God, I can't wait to see who I piss off. Or, you know what? I think this person's stupid and whatever. And I see the comments where they're like, well, people like that are asking for it. Well, if you want to go in and be like, no, you think that person's stupid, I think you're stupid, it's still shitty, but it's not as bad as being like, I hope you die. Like, that's just no.
Touch grass. Whoever wrote that, like, go outside, touch grass, like, breathe in some fresh oxygen, and like, maybe some meditation will help you.
Yeah.
Meditation or medication. I don't know.
Get both.
Get both. I co-sign on both. I mean, both work for me.
Get both.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Enough of that.
Enough
There's
of that.
mess to discuss. That's fun mess. Can we transition?
Yes. Let's transition to Tamra's face. So, what? Why are you laughing at that?
The transition was the best and worst transition of all time. So I salute you for that. And somebody said in the comments, no more wire hangers ever. And that will forever live when I see the inset. I will always think of Mommy Dearest. So thank you to whoever commented that.
Yes, we appreciate you. And listen, a lot of people are wondering what is going on with Tamra Judge's face. Now, Tamra Judge is obviously a gorgeous woman. Nobody can take that away from her. And she's being very open about this procedure. I have a friend right now who she is absolutely stunning. She's going to hear this because she just started working out and she listens to Hot Messy Topics on Up and Adam podcast. So I'm not going to name you, but she decided, you know what? I have kids and I'm in a place in my life where I want to get the third roll in my eyelids lifted. So I want it to be removed where everything looks like younger and fresher. And I was like, okay. And she's like, and we hang out all the time. She's like, just to let you know, I'm not going to see you for like 3 weeks. Like nobody will see me. I'm like, why are you doing this? She said, because it makes me feel better. And I said, okay, yeah. And now I was thinking that Tamra was doing some sort of facelift, but it's not. She said, taking you all along on my journey, I visited Dr. Donald in Newport Beach, who works alongside Dr. Amby for a brow lift, CO2 laser, and a blue chemical peel. 7 years ago, I had a lower facelift, but skipped the upper. It was like painting the house, but forgetting the trim. Stay tuned for the updates. Oh, and this is day 3, by the way, what you guys are saying here. She said day 3 is supposed to be the worst. This is why I just use my blooming.
I have bangs. Like, the bangs hide like 10 years. I don't know. I mean, if I could afford it, would I do it? Yes. But what I want to know, she very carefully tagged everybody that worked on her face. Like, Tamra, you're so transparent. We appreciate that. Like, I want to know, how much did you pay for this? Like,
nothing.
She didn't pay for it, right? Like, this is all sponsored. I mean,
that's a guess. I don't know that.
Tamra, can you please confirm? Like, tell us what you paid. We're just curious. Like, I think it's bad as hell that like people will pay for your work. Like, that's awesome.
Honestly, I have a friend here, who's on one of the shows, that the other day I asked this person, I said, hey, come to this workout. I wanted to try this new workout. And they said, oh my God, yeah, I go there all the time. And I said, did you get the membership or do you just pay per class? And this person said to me, no, they like literally pay me to come in and work out. And I was like, I'm paying so much money. How did you pull that off? And they're like, well, why would I pay to go? And I'm like, so sometimes there's a lot of perks to these Bravo celebrities. You get to go work out for free. You get these classes. You get some facial. What happened to you, Shannon? What happened to your facelift? Because instead of asking John Jansen's little shady ass for this and like, you know, like the voguing of the face,
ooh,
you probably could have got the shit for free.
She probably could have. I mean, she's got a lot of followers, and her brand, the frozen food that she was endorsing prior to the DUI, which, can I just say, like, we didn't know how this was going to pan out with the whole Shannon DUI thing on Real Housewives, but we have seen accountability. We have seen growth. She has put her tail between her legs and said she was wrong. We've seen her have the awkward conversations. I appreciate her going through that.
Combat what you're saying, though, I think it's not. I think that's why I said before, had she have just, and I know I'm not encouraging anybody to be like a behind the scenes drinker, anything like that, but I think had she have maybe took a shot or two of vodka or tequila, whatever her drink of choice is, before filming, and then ordered water while filming, I think if she just wouldn't have put that out in every one of her group scenes of her ordering a drink, then she really, really would have been redeemed. But then it just adds that element where now Tamra gets to go after her. Like, fans are going after her. People are like, have you not learned? It was like the one thing that could have been weaponized against you. Otherwise, you would have been the victim in this story, and it would have been a very, very incredible season for Shannon. Now, I don't think that it's working out the way Alexis and John and maybe even Tamra or other people would have predicted, like with Shannon kind of it being like this, like she has to eat shit season in order to come out on top. I think that's all backfiring against all of them. But I think for her, had she have just done that, she would have been so golden. It's not even funny.
Agreed. I can't believe Shannon, after a DUI, is coming out like the golden girl of this situation. But when we have, good Lord, Alexis, like, how nice was it having an episode without Alexis this week? Like, it was such a needed, like, literal vacation from the nonsense. Like, did you love this episode of Orange County as much as I did?
I did. Even what I love about it is that it's not so dark,
Yes.
It's like you watch it and you don't feel like I'm not triggered by Teddy dressing up like with a cane and playing a game, like I'm not triggered by the pushing in the pool or the hello housewives and Vicky. It's just fun TV. So at this point, I'm really enjoying it. It's like the moments where we start getting into like, why do you think your husband left you, you ugly bitch? It's like, oh my God. Oh my God. Or that's why your husband cheated on you, or you're this, or you're like, that's when it gets to me like, guys, I'm so uncomfortable and I'm watching from a screen and this was filmed 6 months ago and I feel like I'm literally in the party and I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't know you people. Like, why am I so stressed out watching this TV show? Like, why am I like on heart medication? Because my heart is palpitating watching these feuds. It's too much. This episode, I loved because I'm an Emily fan. I've loved Emily since, and I'm not a like blind stan. I'm not going to always love everything everybody does, but I've struggled with Emily this season. I said maybe it's Tamra's influence. Who knows? But the fact that Emily was able to be introspective and say, you know what, I'm triggered because of the way I grew up. She shared some really hard things about, her lifestyle growing up, having food insecurity. She really went there, and being able to connect that to the way she treated Jen, then to have that conversation on camera in such a mature way where Jen was happy to hear it. She listened. The conversation ended. We're moving forward. Like, this is what I love in Housewives.
But I love Emily, but also, and I know Emily's playing the game. I'm also like Emily, and I love me some Emily and Shane. I do. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, Emily, you are a grown ass woman, and yelling at this poor woman across the table who has no money. She's trying to figure it out. She has all these kids. Her kids are seeing this. You know how shitty this looks. You do. Whether you're drunk or not. Okay. I think when you want to be that nasty to someone, a lot of people don't have it. Like, I couldn't personally go do that, but if you got me shit-faced, maybe I could work up the courage to say something like that. And I think that for Emily, she knew in order to deliver those words, she had to get to that level because there's still that conscience inside that's like, don't say that. Like, you know what this woman's going through. But then she made the conscious choice between her conscience and also what's good for TV and making sure she's not going to get fired. And I see what you did. You chose putting food on the table for your kids and your family and your career, as opposed to really giving a shit about this woman's feelings. And then you went back and you apologized. So I think she knew exactly how she was going to play this. And I'm not mad at it. It's anybody who puts themselves into any of these shows, you're going to get this. Like you're never always going to come out on top. You will have bad seasons. You know what I mean? It's like when Erica said at the reunion, she's like, one of you bitches are going to be in this place one day. And I cannot wait.
Oof.
Then it was Kyle.
It's not diamonds, it's ice. Like Erica. Wow.
Boy.
Cutting. You know, I have to say, and Tamra has been a very controversial personality this season. I think, as always, I loved seeing her really throw Vicky and Shannon a life raft as far as this traitors party. I thought it was so kind. Can I say I found it both demure and mindful that she was like, Shannon, you know what? Why don't you bring Vicky? Come to the traders party. She knew she would be more comfortable. We're going to bring Vicky into the mix. This is comfortable for both of them.
Okay.
Girl, so kind of you. And then she throws Teddy Mellencamp into the mix, triggering Vicky, and that was Brett AF. And to see all of that within like 30 minutes of a TV show, I was like, Orange County gives us so much. Tamra gives us so much.
I'm just wondering, like, what happened when these three are like, they're like, oh, the Tres Amigas are back, and they're like, we love you. We're supposed to be together. And I don't know what it is about this cast. I don't know if you picked up on this, guys listening. I don't know if you picked up on this, but it's like when Vicky comes in and she's like, it's not okay. And like Shannon is like, oh, I don't know what's going on. And like they do this like high strung, like annoying, like, bah! And now I'm seeing Alexis do it. And it's almost like she studied it. And you see how she's like aggressive, like she's like, and it's like, why? But they all are starting to do it, which is sort of mocking the Shannon, Tamra, Vicky of it all, because they've always been like, you know, like, I didn't sleep with multiple people. And they get like crazy. But it's their thing.
7-person van. Yeah, no, I feel like this is like the era of like the Franken housewife, where they like take bits and pieces of different housewives and slap them all together. Like, what was her name? Bronwyn on Orange County several years ago. She just took in, I felt like, yeah, exactly. And we're not carrying on that Bronwyn's legacy. Like, we're saging this. We have a new Bronwyn moving into, Salt Lake that I cannot wait for. So we're saging the name Bronwyn, but I felt like Bronwyn would just like tried to do all the things that the housewives did that were successful. And then it ended up being like a total flop. I feel that's exactly what Alexis, Jesus Jugs Jansen is doing. And it's not working.
No. And I could understand cast members coming into a show like this, where you get one of two choices. One, you don't watch the show at all. And then you go through, you get fired at the end of the season, and you look back and you kick yourself because you wish you would have studied it and you would have known what you didn't know. That way you could have operated in a different way. Or two, you get the ones that study it, but then they start emulating what they think is what we want to see. And 9 times out of 10, it becomes a flop. You know, that's why even for Monica Garcia, I always give her credit. I always tell her, even know, and she knows, I'm like, Reality Von Teese, that shit sucked. But people loved it, but it sucked. Like, I couldn't imagine somebody doing, I get it. But then I think about like coming on and just being like, well, I had an affair. I was excommunicated. My house went in foreclosure, and just like throwing all the stuff out there. It was like an iconic first housewife move, you know, just sort of like, I don't even care, you know, like it's it's just wild. Everybody comes in at a different beat. To be fair with you guys, if I had a camera on me with my husband around, I don't know how I would be, you know, like I did a thing where and it probably won't even be seen, but I filmed a tiny little thing over for Southern Hospitality, just as like a favor kind of thing. And even doing it, I'm just so like in the moment of doing it, like, guys, I think that you guys should get along. Like, I think it's not that big of a deal. Like, at the end of the day, we're friends, you're friends. Like, you know, what are you doing? And that's not what they want, but that's just genuinely how I would handle it, which means I would not be good reality TV. I'm not in there like, you better hit that bitch, because if you don't hit that bitch, I'm going to hit that bitch. So somebody better pick this bitch up. So is it you or me? You know?
I hope we're moving away from that combative, so quick to fight. Like, people say it's boring, this, that, or the other, but I think that there is a community of people who enjoy the lifestyle, the opulence, that perspective of the housewives and of reality TV, to where it doesn't have to be so hateful. Like, I'm watching Wig on Surreal Life right now, and it's nice. Like, there's like organic arguments because people are living in a house and it happens, but it's not evil and hateful. And it just, I'm ready for like a watered down version of what we've been getting on a lot of the shows we've been watching.
Well, speaking of not evil or hurtful, but also just giving some of the people what they want. I saw one of your recent posts.
Am I in trouble? Do I feel like I'm being called to the principal's office?
I mean, I don't know. Do you have a guilty conscience?
I don't know. I mean, I might have been shitty towards Jax.
It was this.
Oh my God, yes. We love Brittany.
Okay, guys. So
we love this.
Brittany did an ad, and we know that Brittany got paid a shit ton of money for this ad. And we're not mad at Brittany for getting paid for the ad. She said point of view, right? POV, point of view.
Yeah.
In my self-love era, I've always done everything on my own, so I'm not going to stop now. Well, just to give you guys an update, we've heard about the divorce. We've heard Brittany address this on When Reality Hits with Jax and Brittany. She did say that her and Jax are going to be filming separately. A lot of people think that this was for publicity, and she wanted to let everyone know, the fans who are watching, that she is very limited on what she can say, as everything is being heavily documented for season 2 of The Valley. But at the end of the day, that she would not sacrifice her husband and her family and the well-being of her child for a TV show. She's like, this is very real, and her main priority right now is being the best mom that she can for her cruisy, as she called him. And then, of course, right after that, we end up seeing that for the first time, Jax and Brittany had to film a scene together. Thank you to TMZ. This is so awkward.
Ooh, I mean, I get it. It's going to be like a Tom and Ariana situation, I feel, from season 11. Like, they'll both show up. They'll both, you know, clock into work and live their separate lives. And as far as I'm concerned, as a viewer, if that is their reality, that's what I want to watch. Like, I don't want to see them forced into interactions if that's not reality. Like, I'm not Delulu. Like, I know that reality is staged. You have to rent out these venues. You have to pre-plan these things. You just can't show up in a restaurant with cameras and shoot. You just can't go to a public park and shoot. All these things need to be pre-planned. They're doing their job by filming together, and I'm okay with them not communicating. But Adam, did you see where, like, they were like on their separate playing fields? LOL, that's my sports reference for the day. But then like Brittany was like starting to inch closer to Jax, and one of her friends, I'm going to guess Kristen, pulled her away. Like, girl, stay away from him. That man is not for you. Like, literally stay away from Jax.
I know, but then I like my heart also, because as someone who watched my parents go in and out of relationships, and my parents have been married so many times, it's like you see what's going on, and you see that this is the man who like gave you your child. And unfortunately, there is that like pool where it's like you like usually when you're with somebody who is that narcissistic and toxic, they have those moments that they don't show to other people, but then you see that softer side and then you can't help but it's like, I see the good in you. Why can you not be that person? I know you have it in you and you just want to keep fighting for that. But unfortunately, like you're saying, there has to be a time where you walk away. You can't do this for forever.
Like, this might sound really dark, but do you remember when Jax and Brittany were getting back together and it was after Jax's dad passed? And he's like, things are different. I've got my father. He's in my soul now. He's leading me. He's guiding me. Like, what happened to your dad, Jax? Like, where did he go? Where did his good influence go? Because Brittany, I don't think would ever have divorced him unless it was so awful. And then to come on her Instagram page with over 1 million followers, which first of all, I thought the sex toy, I thought it was a retainer. I'm such a nerd. I'm like, why is she holding a retainer? And then I was like,
she's like,
oh,
self-love. We're fixing our teeth with this sex toy.
I was like, do Invisaligns come in pink? Like, what's happening? But that's not a retainer. I was so happy to see that, to see the ad. I thought it was hilarious. But then the caption of having to do everything on your own.
I know.
I'm not well. I'm not well.
I'm completely with you on this. I saw it and I was like, but speaking of Vanderpump Rules, the Valley, and everything that's going on in that realm, Lisa Vanderpump also had a few things to say about Raquel Levis. Rocky, Rachel, Raquel. I think that you guys even called her Rocky Boom Boom.
She called herself Rocky Boom Boom, and I just went with it.
Okay. Rocky Boom Boom. She went on and said, this is what it would take for me to come back to the show. 1, they need to reimburse me for my mental health facility. 2, in order for me to come back to the show, they need to have a therapist on hand after every filming scene, blah, blah, blah. So she went on and said what her demands were, but said, I'll never be back on the show. But by her doing that, it was like, okay, this is my way of letting Bravo know if you will meet these demands, then she's not going to forego the paycheck. She would go back to if they came to her tomorrow, just in your opinion, if they came to her and said, we're going to cover your mental health facility bill, we're going to pay you the amount that you want, and we will supply you with a therapist. Is she saying yes or no?
I think there is nothing more in this world that Raquel, Rocky Boom Boom wants more than to be on Vanderpump Rules. It has to be like all the terms would have to be correct, but she won't stop talking about this. Like, I think a lot of people were ready to just wish her well, see her on her next journey. She might have kept some followers doing whatever it was she's doing. But the fact that she just keeps on coming back to Vanderpump Rules, like, I don't think she has anything else. And that makes me so sad for her. Like, honestly, it makes my heart really hurt for her because she's in a world where, like, it doesn't feel like anybody wants her there. She probably feels that way, but I really feel like if she would have gone back, I think the public would have responded so much differently. I think we would be having completely different conversations about her and her podcast if she would have gone back to the show.
I agree with that. All right. Well, Lisa ended up responding to this saying, 1, after you trashed the network, you trashed production, you trashed Bravo, you trashed your cast members, and you trashed me. I don't really see a future for you on the show. She also said that the show makes a lot of moves very quick and that they wouldn't even see where it would make sense for her to be on the show. And then finally, she added, Bravo does supply their cast members with therapists, which I've known about this for a long time. If you need access to a therapist and you are contracted by Bravo and you're Bravo talent, then they will put you in touch and they cover the fees of a therapist. That is a true thing. So I think that, Raquel coming in and being like, I want my own therapist. It's like, girl, just take there's a therapist. Like, nobody is like, you want your own concession stand, your own, I don't know what they offer you. What is it called when you go?
Your writer?
You're on like an acting job and they have the band that has the food and shit.
Oh yeah, like craft services.
Yeah, you want your own craft services?
Right.
Like no.
Yeah, you're not Meryl Streep. You didn't earn a rider, okay? Like, you don't have your lists of demands. You're not Mariah Carey. You're not getting like lambs and like certain colored M&Ms put in your bowl beforehand. Like, stop. You are a former beauty pageant contestant. You are a few-year reality star. Go live your life. Be happy. Do so much good. I feel like there's so much good inside of that woman just ready to come out. It is time to walk away, I think, or just come back. I'd welcome Raquel back. Yeah, Rachel. I'm sorry, Rachel.
Yeah, I mean, wife. All right. Well, moving on. Before we end up getting to the end, I have two last topics. Lindsay Hubbard and her pregnant bliss. Well, she was showing us that she is putting together her baby girl's nursery, and she was talking about her man helping her. And she was talking about how she doesn't care if the season was awkward or not for Carl. She's like, listen, could we potentially get back to being friends one day? We were friends before we were ever in a relationship. Do I think it'll ever be the same? No, but right now I'm not in a place where I care about his feelings. I looked at that and I was like, I think that's a fair statement. Then I was reading some of the comments and they're like, you know that he's battled with sobriety, Lindsay, like you could be a little bit more sympathetic. And I'm like, no, let the woman she is protecting her little pregnant bubble over there with her new man. Carl chose by having the cameras come and breaking up with her on camera and ending the wedding. You chose that this is the path. And most couples, just like in a normal world, this is why I always tell, like, I have a friend who right now is getting a divorce. And I said to my friend, because she wants to walk away and her husband is like, you're not getting half of anything. They built a whole company together. He's like, you want to walk away? You walk away. You're not walking with shit. You'll have to rebuild your life. Good luck. Trying to hold it over her head. And I'm like, no, girl, fight for half of everything. Because guess what? The minute you get a divorce, that is not your friend anymore. He is not going to be there for you. He's not going to be a phone call away. That's not going to be somebody you're going to be communicating with. So why should you walk away broke and like broken and not like, so I know that doesn't necessarily apply to Carl and Lindsay, but what I'm saying is you made that call. She is allowed to walk away and have peace and not have to give you anything. If she doesn't want to be friends with you, she doesn't have to be friends with you. She doesn't have to entertain you. She doesn't have to look at you. She doesn't have to acknowledge you. That's okay in my eyes.
She doesn't owe him anything.
Yeah.
She owes him nothing.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. No, sorry, Carl.
Yeah. And the new guy, apparently, like I saw photos of him. He's a very good looking guy. I believe he's very, very wealthy. That's what she wanted. She wanted a man with a job, a job, a car, something more than a GED. I don't know. But she wanted to make sure that she got the guy and she got him. And I don't see her really bothering anybody. People are like, well, Lindsay's been a terror for so long. Well, right now she's just fucking in her pregnant bliss. Let her be in her pregnant bliss. It's okay.
Well, like, haven't we all been monsters at one point in our life? Like, I'll tell you what, if I don't eat for like 3 hours, I turn into season 1 Stassi. Like, I am a straight monster. Like, I am not making excuses for myself, but there are points where we don't always put our best foot forward. And we've seen Lindsay on TV for how many years now? Like, we've seen her activated. We've seen ourselves activated. Like, maybe this is a new stage of her life. Just because she's acted one way in the past, I'm just not going to always hold that for her for the future. Like, I believe that people can evolve and change and grow. So
that's how I feel. That's how I feel. Okay, before we end up signing off on this, I don't know how much you followed this, but I used to follow it all the time because I loved Total Divas and I love me some Nikki.
Yeah.
Nikki and Artem. Okay, you guys, this is a little bit of a shit show. So there was a domestic violence call. Have you been following this?
I have been. I'm a Dancing with the Stars girly.
Okay, can you help me like understand exactly what the situation is here?
Okay, so I'm going to do my best. Honestly, it's funny. I was talking to my sister about this. Things are coming out faster than I can handle it. Like, this is just a very quickly developing story. So Nikki was on the Bella Twins TV show. She was a professional wrestler. And what I saw, this is all alleged, but apparently it was alleged that she threw a shoe at him and then he retaliated and was arrested, and they have a child. I don't think the child was anywhere in what I saw in the documents, which is a really good thing that the child was not present. But he was arrested. And the only thing she put out publicly, the last of my knowledge, is that the family's going through a tough time and they asked for privacy.
And I heard that there have been multiple domestic violence issues with this couple.
I didn't know that.
Then again, that's coming out from the media, so who knows?
Who knows? All of this is alleged.
Yeah.
It was arrest. Like, there was an arrest.
And at the end of the day, that just goes back to shit. I was at, my family's gonna kill me. I was at a party at my house. I had an apartment and I was going to college. It was this 3-bedroom apartment. We probably had 40 people inside the house, right? My stepsister and my brother got into an argument in front of everybody, started yelling at each other. And she picked up one of these like concrete statue things that I had and chucked it across the room. And it went like this past his face. Like, had it have hit him in the face, it would have broken his face. And I remember him looking like, dude, she needs to go. Like, absolutely not. He didn't lose his cool, nothing. But he said to her after they made up, he's like, you can't just do things like that because you're going to throw something at the wrong person and they're not going to respect the male female boundary or the age boundary or the boundary of like, you're smaller than me. They're just going to lunge at you. And it's a scary place to be. Like, you really have to be careful when you when you take that first act. It kind of, and I'm not condoning anything. I'm just like, it's a scary, be careful. Like, I would never even try to incite that sort of like a reaction out of my own husband, let alone like anybody else, because I feel like even when you see the people who get beat up in the streets and you see like the Instagram videos of like people with road rage and they come and break somebody's window and they get dragged out of their car and beat up and they're like, why? I'm like, yeah, literally just hit their window with a hammer and punch them through the window. What do you think they're going to do? Like, it makes me so nervous because I'm not a violent person. So it just like scares me.
Well, and I live in an open carry state. Like, you never know. I mean, it is literally the wild, wild west out here. Like, you never know who is in the car next to you. It's wild. And it goes back to the Teddy thing when we were talking about that disgusting threat comment that Teddy received. Like, at some point, we have to stop escalating. It goes back to like the Jersey season we just finished. Just because somebody does something to you doesn't make it okay to retaliate. Like, at some point, somebody has got to stop the cycle. And like, as like normal, mature people, like, yeah, maybe more is expected upon us, but like at some point, like, enough is enough. Like, stop escalating situations. Like, I don't know what happened in their house. I'm not going to pretend I know what happened in their house, but just because one person does something, you can walk away.
Yeah. And you don't know how somebody's going to react. People are scary. That's
People
why, like,
are scary.
I said this the other day. Like, I was complaining to my dad because I was at F45 and it's like a group workout, high intensity workout, right? And there was this bigger guy in front of me and we had to keep moving stations and he was dripping sweat on everything. And so I got so grossed out, I wasn't touching the equipment. Then the trainer came over and was like, why are you not doing what the exercises are? And I said, because he's sweating on everything and I'm not wiping it down. Like, I get grossed. It's his bodily fluids. Like, it makes me, I get like grossed out. She's like, okay. And I was telling my dad about it and dad's like, why didn't you say something to him? I'm like, because I don't know if he's going to turn around and punch me in the face. Like, I don't want to say, I don't need to have that aggressive reaction. I don't need to call somebody out. It's something that like, I'm grossed out. That's fine. I'll deal with it. It's not going to ruin my day. I'll move on. Like, I don't need to be like, yo, bro, wipe your shit down. Because I don't want to get punched in the mouth. And I don't know if you're going to punch me in the mouth or turn around and be like, hee hee, okay. Like, I don't know, you know?
No, I feel you. And people at the gym are wired differently. Not that I go to the gym, I wouldn't know, but I see those videos of people at the gym like trying to record themselves and then people, yeah, no. I think Peloton, because I'm a girl who likes to work out at home.
Listen, I tried to skip Peloton and go the cheaper route with this Yeesol thing. Guys, just save up for the freaking Peloton. The Yeesol is not where it's at. So I'll say that. But Greyhound Girl said, people are crazy, Adam. That's right. You're right. You never know. And communication is key. Choose wisely, your words wisely, and you shouldn't be so scary. I agree. Well,
Words matter.
Yes. Yes. Guys, with that, I am getting ready to go record before I go out of town with Jason. You guys are going to see me in a different studio tomorrow, but I'm going to record with Monica so we could do episode 3, put that for this week. But before we go, Ashley, if they don't know and they're watching, will you let them know? Let's start with your Insta.
All right. So I am 50% of Taste of Reality. My business partner / friend, Imani, is amazing. She takes care of majority of the Instagram content. She is all over Bravo News, reality TV news in general. The Selling Sunset girls are feuding already. We get a new season of Selling Sunset next week. They've already clocked in. The fighting has started. It's going to be messy and I can't wait for it. And shout out to Chriselle. We were talking in the comments of the Taste of Reality in the articles. She was a soap opera girly. I remember her from Days of Our Lives. She played Jordan, but she was also on All My Children, I guess, too. So love that. Love seeing these people come in and out of our space. And then there's the website, tasteofreality.com. We cover mostly Bravo. That's where our heart is. We're Bravo girlies. But we also try to get around all the reality TV and pop culture. You'll see Imani's a big One Tree Hill fan. They're coming back with a reboot. So that's super exciting. Again, I'm a Dancing with the Stars girly. So the cast coming out. This is all exciting stuff. Living for this era of reality TV.
Hey. All right, guys. So if you're not following Taste of Reality on Instagram or social media, definitely make sure you go be a part of that. It is free to just give a follow. That way you guys get all of the information before we even come here live. And that's exactly what I know we're all looking for. Also, go to tasteofreality.com anytime and you can see the full articles, because usually on the Instagram, it's always redirecting you to articles anyways for anybody who has a website. I'm not just saying Taste of Reality, but yeah, somebody just said, Adam, did you see Matt's? Guys, I'm sorry. I did not. Bravo Breaking News just published it on Insta. I don't. Hi, Kim. Let me just see what they're talking about really quick.
Always Bravo Breaking News. Our girl Kim is on top of it. Here,
I'm not quite sure, but don't worry, guys. We'll get into it. But with that, Ashley, yes, it's coming. Thank you, Ashley. We will see you so very soon. We appreciate the hell out of you, and I'll hopefully see you on Friday.
Hopefully see you soon. Talk to you guys soon.
Happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day.
Bye, guys.